Welcome to the Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical, and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.
There we go. Welcome to
amazing.
today's A Coffee with Karen. So each week we discuss various topics, and my guests will be giving their advice from either from a mental, a physical, or a spiritual perspective. So my guest today, I would have thought you sort of possibly cover all three, maybe. Debo, welcome to the show. If you could explain to the listeners exactly a little bit about who you are, what you do, and a little bit of your story.
Hi, Karen. About my story. My story is really interesting. I'll come to that in a moment. But yes, I'm a meditation teacher, so I do guided meditation once every week. What else do I do? And Angelic Reiki Healing, which is absolutely very, very powerful. It's energy healing, Angelic Reiki Healing, and I'm a mindset coach. And on top of all of that, I'm a registered nurse. Been practicing for many, many years. So lots and lots of things there. So you'd like to know, or the listeners would like to know how I came to be where I am today, doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely, yes.
Energy healing, meditation, coaching, etc. And as well as doing a few, still keeping it with my nursing practice, because that's a big part of who I am. Don't want to give it up yet. So my, I think, journey started in about 2006. When children were young, life was very demanding, and husband was very busy working the hours. He wasn't around very much. Became very depressed and crying and tearful. A really, really tough time. And I think that's when I discovered Reiki healing. And once I had the session, I went and did the training, I really fell in love with it. It was really lovely. But I continued with the path that I had chosen, that's being a nurse. And it wasn't until about 2018 when I became very ill, very seriously unwell with retinal detachment. It's a very serious eye condition. It's an emergency. So I had one emergency operation, didn't go too well. A week later, I had another emergency operation. And altogether, between 2018, 2019, I had 7 eye operations, which was a very, very difficult a time to heal. You know, it was a time when I needed a lot of healing. I needed a lot of change. And what I decided when I remember, when I had my second eye surgery, I was like, right, this isn't going too well. This is here for me to learn from. I'm going to try not to become a victim. You know how we always say, oh, I'm sick, I've got this wrong with me, I've got that wrong with me, and this isn't going right for me. I thought, I'm not going to do that. I've been very fortunate in my life. And it's the first time something serious has come along, and I'm going to do something that means that I'm not looking older when this is over, and I'm not changed in any way when this is over. So what I started to do was, because I had to, obviously you can imagine eye surgery, I had to do a lot of resting. So what I did do, I meditated for hours and hours and hours. And the way that I say it, that I was carried. I didn't feel the pain. I didn't even feel the struggle. You know, every time I'd have an eye surgery, they would say, we have to do it again. So they'd wait so long to, they'd fix it. And then they think, right, we've put something in your eye, we need to take it out. 3 to 6 months later, they would take it out and it would go back wrong again. A week later, another surgery. And so I meditated, and now when I look at it, it was just a time where I grew. I grew a lot. And because I became so close to my guides, archangels, ascended masters, I was very close to my guides. I didn't feel the struggle as much. Oh, yes, I cried. Oh, yes, I hated going to gatherings. I hated going to any functions. I wouldn't go anywhere. I couldn't wear makeup. I looked absolutely ghastly, felt very, very fragile. But internally, spiritually, I was very strong, and I became stronger day by day.
Wow.
And I think that was a step to the next thing that was really going to happen, the big thing that was going to happen. So early, I think it was early 2020, I came across this course, which it's an Angelic Reiki course. It's only one day, and I thought, right, I want to do this. I still had a few surgeries even after that, but this was in January. I did the course, like we all do, all of us entrepreneurs, coaches, we do many, many, many courses. So I did this course, and about a week, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting there, I'm like, done another course, spent some more money, wasted another day. What have I got out of it? Right? I had a very loud, very loving, but very firm voice in my head said, you're a healer. Go and heal, teach meditation. And I thought, wow, that is so powerful. I have got to do this now. And I picked up the phone, booked the venue, and took the class 3-4 weeks later. And never looked back. I am a healer. I am a meditation teacher. I've been doing this lifetime and many lifetimes before. And I absolutely love what I do. And it's just the best thing that I ever did. And
Fantastic.
I thought I was going to retire years later, from my nursing. And I think I retired about 6 months after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting. Do you think that sometimes, so I love what you said earlier about the one thing, even though you had all that coming up, you were very grateful for your life so far. Now, do you think that one thing changes your whole perception on the challenges that were in front of you?
Absolutely, because I'm a very positive person anyway, and I'm a total believer in being grateful for what you have, and I'm very blessed. I've got a wonderful family, and everything else in my life was really good, and I've been lucky. I haven't been struck down by a serious illness before. And this was this wasn't like something that was I didn't think it was going to go on for as long as it did, but still, I think you're absolutely right. It was because of my whole perception. I wasn't going to let this make me into something that I wasn't. And it's illnesses. I've seen many people, they have a small injury or something small come up, and they're like, yeah, I'm sick, I'm sick, and they become this, they play the role, and they become in that illness becomes who they are, rather than illness is something they have to manage and get over and get on with their life. So absolutely agree with you. That's exactly what it was. It was the way that I looked at it. And when we become that, what I was, that I'm not going to let this get me, you become what I call resourceful. Other things start coming your way to help you do exactly what it is that you want to do.
Absolutely. Well, your focus has changed, your energy flows.
Yeah, energy flows.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Energy flows.
Yeah. So it's really interesting that maybe, just maybe, you needed that time to switch off so that you could tune in to what it is that you actually wanted to do. Like you said, that you had this calling to be a healer, which you knew you were, right?
Yeah, I think what happens sometimes, our life is supposed to take a change. It's supposed to change, and often we resist that change. I mean, I started my entrepreneurship, my coaching business in 2013. 6 years prior to this, and because I'm a nurse and I am a diabetes specialist, I thought, right, I'm going to be a diabetes coach. This is what I'm going to do. But from the time I started until that time, I was knocking on a brick wall. It wasn't happening for me. My business wasn't moving on. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I don't even have to knock. And things just come my way. Things just flow to me. Clients just call me, and opportunities are just there. They just arrive, All I've got, sometimes when I do a little bit of work on my business, often I don't because I'm busy. But when I really put in the effort, loads of doors flung open. And I'm like, where did that come from? I don't remember that, and things just happen because this is my calling. This is the way. And I always say to my guides, or you could say angels, is I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for God. I'm doing it for them. So I'm saying, help me, support me, guide me, be here, make me say the right words, do the right thing. I'm doing this for you. You wanted me to do this, and I'm here doing it for you. So this is how I work.
Brilliant. Sounds to me, what you're telling me is that you're just completely in sync. I mean, you did say earlier that I think, and I totally agree, that a lot of people, probably because of the way maybe that a lot of us have been brought up, we tend to resist change. You know, change is this unknown. You know, it's a scary thing. Whereas actually, the whole thing is unknown. None of us know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we have this perception that we are in control of everything. And so to change our day to day is a scary thing, but it's all the unknown. And when we allow ourselves to just, like you did, just go with the flow, that's when miracles happen, right?
Miracles happen. Yeah. Sometimes we have a very fixed view of ourselves. This is who I am. You know, and I'm not anything. Yes, you feel it somewhere inside you that you're a healer, but I was a nurse. You know, that's a big thing. You know, I was a nurse, and that was a big part of my life, and I had a fixed view of who I was, and I didn't want to. I wasn't ready to change that view, but he will knock on the door until you listen. You will get called and called and called, and then it's like, wow, you have to open now. This is your time. And I actually don't look at that time of where I had all these operations and stuff as a bad thing. It was a change. It was something that needed to happen for me to change. And my vision is no different to now than it was then. Of course, one of my eyes is totally useless, you know, but the other eye is absolutely good. And you know, and I don't feel like I've aged. I don't feel like it's affected me physically in any way. So it was a lesson I had to learn. It was something that had to happen.
Wow.
And I'm happier for it. I'm much happier for it.
There you go. Brilliant stuff. So let's just talk about some of the things that you do. So let's start with meditation. And I don't know about you, but I do feel that a lot more people have been opened up to the idea of meditation in this last year because of the situation we find ourselves in. So I do think a lot of people are open to it. And this is why I say, you know, you're giving your perspective from a mental perspective, a physical and a spiritual, because you're covering all areas. I mean, being a nurse, it's a very physical thing. You're dealing with the health of people, you're dealing with the spiritual side, and also with the mindset. So you're really covering everything. So for those people out there, the listeners out there who are still a little bit unsure about meditation, is it a little bit too woo-woo for them? Let's start off there. And how would you sort of explain to somebody who's never experienced it before, what is meditation?
So meditation is just time out for you to just have that quiet time just for yourself. We're always doing and thinking and saying and being active. But what happens is we're spiritual beings, we're energy beings. And the only way we can really connect to that is by taking that time out. To me, meditation is time out. And when I take the guided meditation and I say to people, don't try to meditate. Don't try and get rid of your thoughts. Don't try and do anything. Just be. So that's meditation. It's just being in that quiet moment. So when we think about meditation, sitting quietly, doing all of these things, it scares us. It frightens us. I can't do that. I can't stop my thoughts from running around in my head for 10 minutes. You know, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of those things. Just time out, quiet time for you, and just be. And that's the beginning. That is meditation. Just being.
Right. It's so easy, isn't it, in this day to day to be so distracted. the TV, the radio, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's just a constant. And then, of course, on top of that, our own thoughts and what have I got to do, and have I done the shopping, and have I know. It's so easy to get caught up in this world of thought. So actually, just simply, I love it. Just be. Because, yeah, you're right. I do think a lot of people have. Again, it's just a perception that you've all got to be in a yoga outfit and be sitting in a lotus position and chanting. And it's not true. There's no right or wrong, right?
No right or
Fantastic.
wrong.
So can anyone
Anybody
meditate?
Anybody can do it. And I do a guided meditation every week on a Monday evening at 7:00. If you're interested, they can either get in touch with you or me, and I can send them the Zoom link. And it's free, and it's every Monday at 7:00 on the dot. And it's 1 hour. I guide you. You just sit there and listen to my voice and take you on a journey.
Wonderful. I think everybody. I do feel that everybody needs it. I mean, I have to say, I'm so. It's weird how certain things happen in your life, and maybe before I would have been upset by it, or my TV's broken.
Yeah.
It's been broken for about a month. I'm so not bothered. Not bothered. I don't miss it. It's like I don't have that distraction anymore. I can come in, I can put the radio on for music, and I have got more time to, like you say, just simply be bit of calm, bit quiet. Beautiful.
And it resets you, how you're feeling. It changes your mood completely. You could have been tired, stressed, anxious. You have that little bit of time. You're in a totally different place when you finish those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. You feel different. That's the aim, that you will feel different, because you could sit there and say, I've had a hectic day. It's been shit, it's been a really bad day. You do that 10, 15 minutes. Good, nice thoughts start to flow, and you think, well, actually, I am okay, really.
Yeah,
it's the
like
change,
resetting, going back to the factory settings.
Yeah,
because actually, we're all perfect.
We are.
There's nothing wrong with any of us. None of us are broken. It's all good. It's just that we get caught up in so much negativity that getting used to that meditation and reset, go back to the factory settings. You're perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you.
So how would you say, I mean, you sort of touched on that just a little bit about, it is the reset, but for some people it can be really transformational, right?
Yeah.
And why is that? How do you think that happens?
Okay, so if, like me and like many other people who meditate regularly, what happens, we start connecting with our inner being. So you have innate knowledge and wisdom that you can connect with through meditation. So we also have our direct connection from inside of us. Our deep inner being is connected directly to the universe, the creator that created everything. So you end up with more knowledge, more wisdom. I speak sometimes during my meditation and I'm like, where did that come from? Because it's there. I haven't actually learned it from anywhere, and I haven't actually practiced it. It's just there, and I'm being connected. Who knows? Maybe it's the angels or my guides that are putting these wonderful, beautiful words in my mouth to express to everybody, because it's going to help them. But what I'm just saying is your intuition starts to improve. You start getting more guidance. You start becoming more relaxed. You start becoming more appreciative. You start to love yourself more and everybody else that you see around you. Meditation, I could spend 2 hours just talking about the benefits of meditation, because the meditation benefits are unlimited. Through meditation, you can change your whole physical being. People have healed themselves from huge traumas and physical injuries with meditation, because it gives us powers that we never thought we had. And it can bring forward powers that we already have, but we can use them on an everyday basis.
Absolutely.
Very, very powerful.
Again, I think it is almost, again, our what is it? Is it my ego? Is it my, again, going back to that feeling of, I think I'm in control of everything. And when we actually realize we're not, and accept it, and be comfortable with that, and then get quiet and, like you say, connect to source. This is where the magic, it works with and through us, right? When we allow it. But half the time we're all so busy because we think we've got to take control here and take control there. So I see it having such an impact, such a powerful impact on people. And I love the fact that you're doing a guided, because again, I know not everybody needs a guided, but I definitely feel that when they start, I know that when I started, I found it easier to be guided. And I think then people can actually, when they see they can feel changes in themselves and how powerful it is, and they can sort of go on and eventually they'll be quite happy to do it by themselves, right?
Absolutely. That's how I started, listening to guided meditation. And that is my aim. My aim is not to hold anybody's hands. My aim is to teach everybody to meditate. However you choose to do it, you can do it with me every week for months and months, or you can do it with me once or twice and think, well, I think I'm okay now, but it's the benefits. I want everybody to experience the benefits of meditation, and they're just absolutely huge. And the other thing I want to say is, so many people are stressed, they're anxious, they have, we create this negative thought pattern which we just can't break sometimes, and we become very depressed and mentally ill. And this is where meditation can work its magic. It's taking that time out for yourself. It's just trying to maybe meditate with someone to start off with, listening to guided meditation, regardless of how it's making you feel when you initially start. Just carry on, because even 5 minutes, 10 minutes is training our mind. So once you keep doing it, your body and your mind will begin to get into that state of meditation. It may not happen the first time or the second time, but don't let go. Just keep doing it.
Yeah,
it's totally training the mind.
I do think that a lot of people have this feeling that they can't because they're all up in their heads. But fantastic advice. Just start, just start small. Start with 5 minutes, slowly build up. It is, it's like training a muscle, right?
Absolutely.
It's a mental muscle in a way. It's
and a physical one.
Intuitive. And a physical one.
And physical, because your body is being still. Your body's not used to being still, so your mind is calming down. So as we breathe, our mind calms, our mind slows down, the thoughts slow down, and our body becomes still. And we're not used to that. So that's practice. You need that once or twice, and then slowly, bit by bit, you might practice. Third time, you think, I managed to get into that for 2 minutes. Fantastic. 2 minutes. So it doesn't matter. Just keep doing.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Brilliant. And you're right. It is. There are more physiological benefits on top of all of that as well. Reducing cortisol. I think everybody in the last year, their cortisol levels have been like through the roof.
Yeah.
So so many benefits. So let's talk about, just dip into that little bit of woo-woo.
Okay.
How does meditation help with spiritual growth? Because I know some people, if they are following a specific religion, may be concerned that it can affect, but we know different, right? So what would you say with regards to spiritual growth?
As I said earlier on, if you continue to meditate, you meditate regularly, your intuition is going to grow. So you're going to know what's right for you, what's not right for you, what course to go on, and you get guidance on your growth. Like I get pointed into directions or where to go. That course didn't just turn up. I wasn't just told to meditate every day. It just came. I had never known who this woman was, and suddenly I'm surfing on my laptop, and I've suddenly got this website appear out of nowhere, and And it took me to that course. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, if you're trying to develop spiritually, meditation is fantastic because it will guide you. It will take you to where you want to go, because you want to develop spiritually, not for you. You're meant to develop spiritually. That is your path, especially if it's aligned with you. Give it over, to the universe. It will take you where it is that you want to go. And very, very easy way. You don't have to argue about it. You don't have to fight about it. Just let it go. One of the things with meditation, which helps with spiritual growth, is you begin to feel that you're not on your own, that you're supported and you're loved and you're guided, that there is a higher power. And when you connect with this higher power, or you start believing in that, you literally fly. Whichever direction is the right direction for you, whichever direction you're aligned with, wherever you're meant to be, you will fly in that direction. You will get carried to that direction. And that, to me, is spiritual growth.
Yeah, brilliant. And
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I would have thought, would have a huge knock-on effect then to, like you say, people's mental health, as we've seen in the last year.
Yeah.
And I would, from my own personal experience, as in friends or family members of friends, there's been an awful lot of men being in some terrible places due to mental health, due to depression. And this is, like you've just said it there, you won't have that feeling of being alone, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I'm the same. I've got my daughter here. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
everybody is in that position.
Yeah.
They've been alone for a year, but they don't have to feel it. So what you're saying is, by practicing meditation is going to help them with those kinds of feelings, right?
Absolutely, because it's true, we do feel alone, and the feeling of not being alone and being guided is complete. I don't know how else to express it. It's a complete feeling. It's like there's nothing else that you want. You've got everything that you need. You're never alone. I mean, I remember the first time I went off and did my meditation, and I spoke to my guides. I speak to them like they're here with me, and they literally are with me all the time anyway, as far as I know. And I said to them, I said, look, I'm doing this. I'm going to go and teach for the first time. Come with me, be there with me, guide me, because I haven't done this before. And I took that meditation class, the very first one. I had 5 people turn up, and it was like I had been doing it all my life. So you get a knowing, you get a feeling that what you're doing is right, or that you're okay. Sometimes it's just a feeling that it's okay. I'm going to be all right. Imagine being terribly stressed, anxious, and being really, really depressed. And then you start meditating regularly, little bit here, little bit. And 3 months, 6 months down the road, you know that, yes, you haven't got a job. Yes, you haven't got enough money, but a very deep feeling in here that says it's going to be all right. Yes, it's tough right now, but it's going to be all right. And you feel it so intensely, so deeply, so completely that you're like, yeah, I'm fine now. That is the power. That's the magic.
And it is the knowing.
It's the knowing.
It's the trust, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's having that trust.
Yeah.
Faith, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's all
it comes slowly, but it does come. And this is the reason a lot of people have, or we all have, at some point in our lives, mental health problems, is because we are trying to control everything, and we are frightened. We're frightened of, oh my God, things are like this now. They're never going to get better because we get fixed in this thing. They're never going to get better. Imagine just having a knowing that you are being guided, you are being looked after, and it is going to be all right. Wonderful, isn't it? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And again, it really does all come back down to the difference between, we think we're alone and it's all on us, so we've got to control, to actually allowing, trusting, knowing that we're not alone. And you're right, it always turns out, doesn't it? It always turns out.
Always turns out.
this too shall pass. This too shall pass. You know, everything is in a constant change. But sometimes for some people it can seem so fixed. And that is what is causing, I suppose, a lot of their depression. So there is a way out. So if any listeners have been, you know, I mean, trust me, throughout this whole year, I've been very up and down. Sometimes I'm absolutely fine, and the next minute I feel I'm on the floor. And so we're all in it together.
We're all in it together.
Some people are staying, you know, whereas I can be pitying myself and for a couple of days, come back out of it. For some people, they've been there and it seems so fixed. So it's so important to know that it doesn't have to be like that. So absolutely, for anybody listening, to reach out to Debo. I will have all your details, links.
Thank you.
I think I would like to come and do a guided meditation. I love a guided meditation myself.
I'm doing one tonight at 7.
I'm busy at 7. That's it. Next week.
Okay.
Next week.
Yeah.
So right. So that's meditation. That's only one part of what you do. I love the other side of things, the Reiki, especially. And what did you call it? Angelic
Reiki Healing.
Right.
Angelic Reiki Healing.
So again, for people out there who's never experienced Reiki, don't really know what it is, think it's all a little bit too woo-woo. This is the whole thing with this, is to try and introduce people to
of course.
Maybe have a look, you know.
Of course.
So explain to the listeners a little bit about what Reiki is and how it can help.
So we're energy beings. So we have a physical body, but we have an energy body that not only is inside our physical body, but it's around. It's actually holding our physical body together. So we're energy beings. That's who we really are. So if you take this physical body, you're still left with an energy body. So, but what happens, with emotions and experiences, the energy inside us changes. And sometimes that can cause disease, it can cause illness, it can cause stress, anxiety, all of these things. And we also carry energy sometimes genetically from our ancestors, etc., and from our previous lifetimes. So energy is just shifting the energy then. So when you work with Reiki healing is pure 100% energy of the creator, and you become, as a Reiki healer, you become tuned to receive that and then work with it. So as a Usui Reiki healer, I would call upon the energy and I would use my hands to pass that energy through to the person I'm healing. With that person, I would probably work with whatever problem they have, and I would try and heal that problem. So where angelic Reiki healing differs is I act like a bridge, and it's the angels that do the healing. So I'm not responsible for the healing, and I am not working on a person who I see as unwell or sick. I'm working on a person who is perfect. And the angels deliver the healing. I am just standing because I'm in the physical world. They are energy beings and they can't connect directly to anyone. So they connect through me because I've been tuned. I'm part of the angelic kingdom. I'm not one of them, but one of them. And I can, they pass their energy. They go through me. So they come and they go through me. They pass through me and then they heal. I'm just a bridge.
Transponder almost.
Transponder. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But they don't actually send their energy through me. They actually pass through me. So I'm connected.
Wow.
So it's like using my hand. So they come, they connect, they pass through my hand, and then through that they can connect.
Then
they heal. I can see them. Often I can see them working. I can see where what part of the body they're working on, what they're doing. There are lots and lots of different types of Reiki healings as well. And I can see which ones they're doing, what part they're working on. Sometimes I get thoughts and feelings about what's going on and all of that. I see it happen in my mind's eye. It's just so I am in so much awe. It is difficult to say. I'm so much awe. Just imagine that you can see the angels working on somebody and I can see that. That is, to me, is like, oh my God, I am so lucky to be able to be in that position. You know, I sit there and watch. I could literally, sometimes they put me to sleep. I've had times where I've been so tired, but somebody's booked a healing and I'm just tired because my energy is not being carried forward, you see. So it's not, I'm not doing it through my own energy. So my energy is not being passed to anyone. It's the angels that are doing it.
Oh, incredible.
So they'll put me to sleep and I'll be like half an hour, 40 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, must be over now. That's why I've, you know, literally, that's how it is. That's how it is. They just bring me around. So bring me around.
And what you just said there about you don't see, I think that's really powerful. What you just said earlier about you do not see that person as being ill.
Yeah.
You see them already being healed. Now, for me, that's everything. Again, going back to we are all perfect. We are not broken. None of us. We're all absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
And the way to heal, or the way to actually manifest anything, again, whether it's a healing or to have better relationships, to have good business, whatever it is which I think a lot of people misunderstand, especially when, you know, they talk about the law of attraction, or they misunderstand it. Again, they think it's something too woo-woo and, you know, well, that can't be. Well, it is, because again, your expectation, you are healed, or you've already accomplished that. When we see ourselves and we can really feel it, not just say it as an affirmation. It's so important to have that feeling of, you're already healed. You're there.
So what I say, because I teach about self-healing and all the different things that they can do to self-heal and grow spiritually. My course is called Awaken the Inner Healer, because everything I do is to do with healing themselves and knowing how to heal themselves. And I always say that if you want to manifest something in your life or heal yourself, you think about it, you speak it, you feel it, and you act as if. So those four elements are, you know, if you really want to create something, think about it all the time, how wonderful it is, how great it is to have whatever it is that you want. And you can talk to your friend and say, I've got this, I can just see it, I know it's that, you know, whatever it is that you want. So it's all of those things. If you use all of those things put together, you do get your law of attraction. You get what it is that you know you want to create.
And like just you said right at the beginning, again, the gratitude that comes in.
Absolutely.
Because, if you really feel like you've already got it, you've already got that healing, then you would naturally have gratitude for the healing. So the whole thing is really interesting. Everything you've said, right from the beginning, all sort of ties in together.
Absolutely.
Just all ties in together.
Yeah.
Everybody has the power to heal themselves.
Absolutely.
It's just that, again, we get so caught up in the physicalness, and we forget. We've just sort of forgotten. And because it's interesting when, obviously, you know, even with my work, I'm very much on fasting, you know, for healing. Again, it's almost like it so links into what even you're saying, the whole, even the mindset thing. So once we calm and we're not full of all these thoughts, we just empty, we allow our body to heal. The same as when we don't eat, you know, our body can heal itself, but we get so busy either with our thoughts or what we're doing and what we're consuming.
Absolutely.
That we muck it all up.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah. I've never thought about fasting that way, but that really makes sense.
When we give the digestive system a rest, the body can start like, okay, should we start doing housework now? There's a little bit of a mess up there and here, and the same with the mind. And that is really, I find that absolutely fascinating. And it all ties in with everything.
I mean, we're made in such a way. I mean, don't forget, the Creator created us. We've got everything we could ever need. It's just here. So we have the ability, and we know this. We've got so many scenarios from history. People can heal themselves. You don't need this is why I teach people to heal themselves. It's because you don't need me. I am a nurse and I'm a doctor, but I'm not, as a healer, I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to teach you how to heal yourself.
Brilliant.
Because you have that innate ability. You've got the ability. You just need to awaken that ability. And part of what I teach during my course is exactly what you just brought up, the gratitude and the love. Because it's the gratitude and the love for self and love for everything else, and the gratitude that brings everything together, gives it even more energy and more power to bring it forward into your life. That really, they're the magic that just pushes it forward, whatever it is that you're trying to create.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? It's what happened for us to be almost conditioned to. I mean, I still do it myself. 1,000 things can go well from the moment you get up. Everything's gone right. Everything's gone perfect. Boom, 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 boom. One thing happens at 2:30 in the afternoon, and that's the one thing that we focus on, and we're conditioned to almost get complacent about all the 1,000 of things that went perfectly today.
Yeah.
And we focus on that one thing, and then we talk about it and ring our friends or ring our mum and get home and moan about. But it's almost like is it a cultural? I don't know. It's just something that I think a lot of us, if we're honest with ourselves, we've just got in the habit of doing that. And it's just having those reminders to look for the thing, when we actually open our eyes and look around at all the things that we're grateful for. And I'm not even talking about physical things, just, our families, our friends, our knowledge, our skills, what we've learned. There's just so many things to be grateful for. And
sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's simple things like I've got a roof over my head, I've got food in my belly, I'm warm. There are people on the streets that don't have anything. In other countries, they're starving. They're people just like you and me. But how blessed are we? How lucky are we to be living in an environment which is warm and comfortable, and food and roof and love, husband, wife, children, whatever it is in your life. You've got the love, you've got the warmth, you've got the things that you need. You may be, but we forget sometimes, the air that we breathe, or the basics in life. It's just when you start to appreciate, there is no stopping. There is so much to value and appreciate what we have. And once we continue that process and we do that as well, we just get more and more and more and more.
Absolutely. Well, it's so almost like, I say this to my daughter, it's almost like if you do something for the kids and they're not grateful, it doesn't make you feel like doing more, does it? It just it's a bit like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah. So yeah, why wouldn't it all work like that? The more grateful for you are for things, we feel that the same. We want people to be grateful for things that we do. And
Absolutely.
then, we want to do more. Sometimes, quite often, we find that a lot of people, even with their jobs, they might not be doing it for the money, but sometimes just having that appreciation, somebody to just go, thanks, you're doing a great job. Do you know what? That's all we need sometimes, isn't it?
That's it. That's all you need.
And then we want to do so much more. So it does totally make sense that that's how this universe works, really, because that energy of gratitude is a very powerful energy.
It's an attraction. It's part of the law of attraction. So the more grateful you are, the more you attract the things that you're grateful for. And my other thing that I always say is, when you're in a gratitude mood or mode or whatever, you can't be unhappy, can you? You can't be.
No.
thank you for something and then be miserable. You
No.
are either in a gratitude. So attitude of gratitude will make you happy, because you can't be unhappy. Simple as that. So if you are
Absolutely.
unhappy, just go around saying, I love this, I'm grateful. You'll change. Your mood changes. The whole way that you carry yourself, the way you speak, all of these things start changing. And you become that person that you want to be. That you
Totally.
yourself love the person that you have become. That's really important.
Absolutely.
And how can you not, if you do that, carry that
Yeah.
kind of thing with you every day?
It's huge, isn't it? And it really is. It's more power, because I'm sure people can go, oh yeah, I've heard that before. But are you doing it? It's like, it is what it is, right? Whether you believe it or not, it is what it is.
It's powerful.
The energies don't mix. You're so right. You cannot feel one way and then, say thank you. Or even, it's really difficult to even smile and think bad thought. There's just the two energies don't mix, right?
You can't say to somebody, thank you very much for that, and be you just can't. So if you want to shift just simply the mood that you're a bit unhappy, just think, well, what am I really grateful for in my life? What have I got that I really like, or just what are the simplest things in my life? Or just waking up and going for a walk. There are many people who can't get up and go for a walk. I'm sorry, but there are. We may not think them, we may not see them. They may be in a wheelchair, or they may be housebound, or because I'm a nurse, I've seen everything. I've seen people, who are stuck in a tower of flats, and they haven't left the building for God knows how many years. They haven't walked on a road. They haven't gone to a park. Nobody's taken them. They don't have anybody. So simple things like walking on the street or walking in the park and feeling the trees and the grass and all of these. It's limitless. The world that we live in. We have so much to be grateful for.
Do you think that the last year has sort of made people actually get that now, sort of look around and be more appreciative of the simple things? Because we've been forced into that situation, haven't we?
Yeah. And time was something people always complained about. I don't have enough time. And God's like, take all the time you want in the world. So they're, literally, isn't it? So we're at home. We didn't have enough time for our children. You got time for your children. We were so busy rushing around, and now we're wondering, what was it we were doing? We were rushing around. We're quite happy. Well, quite a lot of us are quite happy at home. You're with your family. I get to see my family a lot more now. My daughter comes and works. I look after her baby, and she's working from my house. I see her for 2 whole days a week. Whereas normally, I'm lucky if I get to spend a couple of hours with her at the weekend, or it'd probably be once a month or something. So our lives have changed, but there's quite a lot positive stuff that's come out of this.
Yes.
I think, it has changed our perspective.
Yeah, like you said this very early on about it is how you choose to look at it. Like you said, with your all the ice. I mean, for some people that would have been the focus, talking about it, moaning about it, whereas you made that decision. And it was a choice. You could have gone one way, and you chose to go another way. And I suppose that is the power. We all have the same choice. Right.
Even that mindset, is not completely my own. I am supported in this. Are you with me? So when I started thinking that way, had I not had the support and the love and the guidance of my spiritual beings that are with me, I probably wouldn't have thought that way. It's because they know that I've got something which even I didn't know I had. And they were trying to awaken that and get me to step forward into that. And those are the things that I needed to think and feel for me to step forward into that, which they knew was my path. And I'm like, no, that's not my path. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse.
It would be a logical thought process. You're a healer, so it would be a logical thought process that, well, I'm a nurse, so I've got that. So isn't it? It's a logical thing to think, okay, yeah, I'm here. Whereas, no, you were being, no, listen, Debo, You're more than that.
Yeah, because nursing is very clinical. It's not spiritual. Nothing about nursing is spiritual. You're working with
physical.
it's the physical. It's about diseases. It's about medicine. It's about treating people who are sick, who come to you as they're sick, and you treat them with medicine, and you're working with textbooks and knowledge that you've learned as a nurse. Whereas spirituality is you're not working. People are not sick. You're not fixing people. They are, like you said, they're already whole. But they are they need to be woken up to who they really are and the power, this immense power that they have. That's all it is. And we're so much stuck that we're living in this dimension, the physical world. But really, it's part reality, the physical world. There's so much more to that. And we tend to be so focused on the physical, we don't see the rest of it. And when we start to see the whole thing, that's when you begin to wake up. And so many more people are waking up. And from where I'm sitting, I see them, countless and countless. They ring me, they speak to me, they come on my Zoom calls, they join in my meditation, they're joining my group, they ring me out of nowhere. I've got a website, I never thought that did anything for me. Suddenly I get somebody say, I found your name on the website. And then I ring the website people and I'm like, I don't think my website's doing anything. Oh, you've had 1,000 views, you've had 100 or 200 views on your website. Like, really? So what I'm just saying is these people have got their own journey, same journey as me. I may be a couple of steps ahead. That's all it is. We're all on the same journey to wake up to who we really are. And we're really, really powerful, unlimited beings.
Perfect. 100%. So what brought you to how did you come across, how did you know that you were in contact with your angels? Is there a story behind that?
That's the story, the one I told you when I had this voice in my head.
Okay.
So that was the initial one. And then I went and did my Angelic Reiki Healing courses. So I'm an Angelic Reiki Master and Teacher. So I loved Angelic Healing so much that I did 1 and 2, and I just carried on until I became a Master and Teacher. So when you are doing your course, during the Angelic Reiki course, you get initiated into the Angelic Kingdom. So, and everything is done through meditation. So you feel the energies, you feel you're there, and now I completely feel them with me all the time, anytime. Amazing. Anytime, all the time. And when I'm doing my meditation, I'm like, I need you to they help me hold the space, because sometimes I'll have 10, 15 people in my online Zoom meditation class. And don't forget, I can only see them. They're not in the room with me, but I still have to hold the space for them to do their meditation, make sure that they're safe, and make sure that they feel that they can let go, because they've got to relax and let go. And I'm holding that space for them. And I need sometimes, and the angels will, and they will give me so much love sometimes. Sometimes I'm in the middle of this meditation and I feel this absolute surge of love, because they're so grateful, so happy that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Brilliant.
They literally give me
absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm coming on your guided meditation next week. So what is, for the listeners out there, what is your website?
My website is just simple, www.debokelly.co.uk.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's Mondays, 7 o'clock, you do the guided meditation. So they can find the link on your website for that?
They can find the link on my website. They can direct message me. They can email me. They can phone me, which is all there. All the links are there. And also I have a Facebook group, which is simple again, Debo Kelly. That's my Facebook page. And my Facebook group is Debo's Meditation Movement.
Debo's Meditation Movement. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I also I deliver spiritual development courses to awaken the inner healer. So my course is called Awaken the Inner Healer, and it's amazing. It's an 8-week course. I've been doing it. I've delivered it about 4 or 5 times now, and I'm starting another one at the end of the month, if you want to know. 31st of January.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, what wonderful. So lovely to speak to more very like-minded souls. I absolutely love what a mixture of things that you're doing. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, you really are covering the mindsets, from the mental perspective, the actual physical perspective, being a nurse, and then of course the spiritual perspective with your angels.
So lovely, so lovely.
Yeah.
I have absolutely enjoyed talking to you, Karen. It's been really
Oh
awesome.
well, thank you for being here. Yes, I will definitely come on your guided, and I might be interested myself. I come from the healing space, as in I was 27 years again hands-on physical, so sports therapist.
Okay.
Until
you know all about the healing, then you can feel it.
Oh, very much.
Feel it.
And weirdly, so my after 27 years, my thumb, I'm left-handed, my thumbs, I could just find exactly where the issue is, go straight to it. Yeah. But it's interesting when you think that the universe is trying to move you in a different direction. So I had given it up to go in to one particular direction, didn't work out, so I went back to, because we resort back to what we know, and it was almost like the universe saying, no, Karen, listen, you're not supposed to be going back. So last year on my birthday, I came falling out of my friend's house, drunk, so I can't blame anybody. My totally my fault. And I came flying out, and I laughed because I wasn't in pain. I said, oh, well, at least I haven't broken my ankles. And I rolled over, and my left thumb was in the wrong direction. Oh, God. So it wasn't painful. And obviously 27 years of being a sports therapist, I should have known better not to move it. But I was drunk, and I didn't want my children to see it in the wrong direction. So I moved it back and then screamed very, very loudly. And actually, I found out that it was broken. So it was like the universe is pushing me to say, no, this is not your path any longer.
You can't,
move on. Really, absolutely fascinating. So be careful. If you don't listen,
you're
not in tune.
Yeah, something will happen.
You're not in tune with it. Sometimes the universe is going, no, sorry. Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know better. They can see a lot more than we can see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. We don't see the bigger picture.
No, that's right. So we just go for the easy route. Some to think, oh, right, no, I best go back to that now. And then it's like, no, you're not listening, Karen. Listen. So sometimes we're forced into it. Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
So
but even though we're forced into it, we're so much better and happier for it.
Oh, I totally don't regret it.
It's not me. I absolutely love what I'm doing. God, I'm so grateful that I am where I am now, and I'm not not doing a job with nursing or teaching people about diabetes, because this is more me. This is who I really am.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's it. So I think the key from the moral of the story is to quieten your mind and stop thinking that you know best. That's my biggie. I do not know best. Source knows best. So quieten your mind, get used to meditation, become in alignment, and then the answers will come, right?
Can I leave you with some pearls of wisdom?
Yes,
just leave you with something which I totally believe in. So there is no punishment in this world, okay? Everything that happens to us is a learning, it's a lesson, and it's growth. So when you do have something, a situation, whether it's pain or suffering or emotional or physical, ask these 3 questions. What is my lesson here? What is it I'm supposed to change about myself? And what is it in my life that I need to change? It's all about learning the lesson. When you learn the lesson, you're better for it and your life will move forward.
Perfect to end on. Thank you very much for your time, Debo. That's absolutely fantastic. And to everybody else, I will be back on Thursday with a keto coffee with Karen, and then next Monday with a coffee with Karen. So thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical, and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.